Fuck! Guess that'll go in the bloopers. Discerning Reader, and today I'm bringing you my official June 2020 TBR. As always, for my TBR, we are playing the Lord of the Rings adventure board game TBR. I call it the Lord of the TBR game. This month is going to be kind of a weird one because my birthday falls in the precise middle of the month, and I'm going to be getting books for my birthday, so I may or may not be declaring books on a TBR that I pretty sure I'll be getting for my birthday. I figured that since A, it's my birthday month, and B, I will be hosting my very own readathon next month, inspired by the Lord of the Rings, obviously. So please keep watch here on my channel for that. I will be posting the announcement video in a few weeks, actually. But I'm not going to be doing any readathons or anything this month. And then that'll just give me a little bit of a break so that I can focus on preparing my own readathon that I'm hosting next month, which I'm so excited about. I can't wait to tell you guys all about it. For this game, I have to play the Lord of the Rings adventure board game, roll the dice each time we land on a color. As you can see, there's different prompts associated with each color, and I have to choose a book based on that prompt. We've added a new rule in for this month that I started doing last month. If I land on a plain brown spot, I get to roll again. But if I land on 3 plain brown spots within the same roll without stopping to choose a book somewhere, I have to add an extra roll at the end of the game.
Editing Corinne here. So until I started to edit this video, I didn't realize that I'd chosen 10 books instead of 9. And these numbers are all messed up, so ignore them. So this month only shall be 10 books that I read. And it would have ended up that way anyway because I have to read The Luck Child for the blog tour that I'm participating in. And next month we will go back to my usual 8 books every month and then 1 extra if there's the usual rules. So please disregard any numbers and have a bonus book this month.
If this is the first Lord of the TBR video you're seeing of mine, I have a whole playlist that I will link up in the info card. But before I choose my books for June, I have to let you know how I've done in May. So these were all the books that I chose to read in May, and I've almost done it. I read all of these. I'm still reading Haikyuu, but considering that it's not my native English, it's in Japanese, I think I can be excused from that. And yeah, I read all these books, and all except for, I think one of them, were either 4 or 5 star reads, so I'm feeling very good about myself. So before we start the game, I have to choose the prompt that came up last time. So last time I did have to add an extra roll at the end, but it landed on Corinne choice, so I just basically had to choose an extra book that I wanted to read. But we have to change out Corinne choice, and here are all of my prompts. And take one from kind of the middle-ish, right here. Alright, we're taking this one. Did not buy. So if this comes up, I have to choose a book that I did not choose and purchase myself. It could be an ARC that I received, could be a book that I was given for a present. I could also use this for a book for my birthday. Okay, without further ado, let's get started on the game. Alright, so as always, we're just going to toss Legolas randomly onto the board, and wherever he lands is where we start. So, looks like he's over here. Alright, as always, I have to visit each section of the board at least once to be the most fair to all of my books and all of my prompts, because I think that books and prompts have emotions. So without further ado, here is roll 1. 8. So I think we're going to aim for this green area first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's a red dot, so we have to choose a Year of Asian Stories book. Okay, so the first prompt that came up in our game is Year of Asian Stories. I just realized as I was setting this up that this is kind of bittersweet for me because my Year of Asian Stories challenge is a challenge I started last July 2019, and so it'll officially end as of July 1st, 2020. To be honest, I've read a lot of the books already for this challenge, I did set myself some video games and anime that I also wanted to watch. Haven't gotten any of those done. I've kind of lost interest in this challenge at this point. I'm ready to, just... I still try and read Asian books and Asian authors and stuff, but I've kind of lost interest in reading, the few books that are left that I haven't read yet. I'm kind of just like, well, I haven't read them by this point, so I guess I'm just not interested in reading them. So my choices are The Vagrants by Yoon Lee, which is, I've shown this in so many TBR videos, I feel so awkward having not chosen it yet. This is a historical fiction set in 1970s communist China, and there's a woman who's been executed, and her family is coming to terms with the fact that she's going to be executed, and I don't know anything about this book. Then my other choices are Ghosts of the Tsunami, which I'll try and put the cover here. This is a book that I can get from my library as an ebook. And it's a nonfiction account of survivors of the Great East Japan earthquake. And another one that I can choose is Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. And this is, I've been trying to convince myself to just buy the damn book, but I asked for it for my birthday, and I'm pretty sure my dad's going to give it to me. So for now, I'm going to say Spin the Dawn for my first choice. Assuming that my dad gives it for me for my birthday. If he doesn't give it to me for my birthday, I will choose either The Vagrants or get the ebook of Spin Dawn for free, because I have Kindle credits that let me download it for free. Alright, roll number 2. 10. So I think I'm going to be since that's kind of a dead end anyway, I'm going to go ahead and circle all the way once around the board and then go off again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's a light green spot, so I have to choose a book that I did not buy. Okay, book number 2 is to read a book that I did not buy. So, could be an ARC that I received, could be a book that was gifted to me. Obvious choice would be to choose Knight's Rebirth by Sarah Ashwood. I was chatting with her in a Facebook group for indie authors, and she mentioned that there was a typo on the back of the book or whatever. And she was lamenting that she can't sell these because it's not perfect. And I was like, oh, just send them to me. I'll read them. And I was kind of joking. And then she was like, really? Give me your mailing address. I was like, wait, what? I was joking. And then she was like, no, give me your mailing address. I'll send you one. So she sent me one, and she was so nice, and she autographed it. And I know I'm going to love it, and it's really short, so it's going to be easy to get through. But I've also been really wanting to reread Sabriel by Garth Nix, because I just finished Clariel earlier, which is a prequel this month, which is a prequel to this series. My dad gave me these paperbacks for a present for my birthday or Christmas or something a really long time ago. So as you can see, they're very beat up because I've read them that many times. So I'm going to go ahead and choose Sabriel for this prompt. And then if another prompt comes up that would allow for me to choose Knight's Rebirth, I will try and prioritize it. So let's go ahead and just give all these prompts a nice little shuffle. And pick one from the middle. Fun. Blurb! Okay, this one has not come up before. If this prompt comes up, I have to choose a book that has been blurbed by an author I admire. 10. 1. Whoops. Come on, Legolas, stay in your stand, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's a plain brown spot, so we're going to roll again. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's another plain brown spot. Rolling one more time. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's a purple spot, so we have to choose a retelling. Prompt number 3 was to choose a retelling, so let me go find some. I found 2 books that would work. I think I have more, but these 2 are the ones I'm specifically most excited. So first we have The Hidden Oracle by Riordan, which is a retelling of the Greek gods. This is a retelling of the Greek myths of, I think it's like Apollo gets cast down by Zeus into the mortal world, and has to find his way back to Mount Olympus. And also To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo, which I believe is a retelling of Little Mermaid. I really want to read it this month. I'm in the mood for mermaids. So I think I'm going to go ahead and choose To Kill a Kingdom. Alright, roll number 4. 3. So I think we're going to go down, and then up that way, and then down again that way. 1, 2, 3, and it's a plain brown spot, so we have to roll again. 2. 1, 2, and it's another plain brown spot. If we get one more plain brown spot, we have to add an extra roll at the end of the game, which I don't think I'd mind, because the past 2 months I've been really good about reading. I did one beta read too in May. That's why I didn't count. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's another plain brown spot, so we have to add an extra roll at the end of the game, which I don't mind at all. It gives me more fun. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's a dark green spot, so we have to choose a 5-star prediction. 5-star prediction. Here are a few books. So the choices are L'Oreal by Garth Nix. It's weird to just be like rereading the Abportion trilogy. And also, what? So the second and third books of the Abportion trilogy. Again, my beat-up old paperbacks. Then we also have Magician's Trial by H.L. Burke, which is book 2 of this Mel Smith and Carver series. I just recently got this one. I ordered it for myself in the mail as like a early birthday present, I guess you could say. Look at this shiny, pretty cover. I recently reread Magician's Rivalry, which was book 1, and I loved it so much. This is like a buddy comedy fantasy, steampunk fantasy. In book 1, the main character, Auric Spellsmith, had been away at the big city to study magic, and so he came home and found that his father had gotten a new apprentice, and it was a bunch of stuff, and then their father disappeared, and his father disappeared, and he had to team up with this apprentice he didn't like, and it was funny, and it was cute, and they became reluctant friends, and it was adorable, and I love it, and Auric is stupid. I'm predicting Magician's Trial to also be 5 stars. Then we have Arrows of the Queen by Mercedes Lackey. This also could be a 5-star read, because it's, you know, court intrigue and fantasy and stuff that I like. Garth Nix is my favorite author in the entire world, and all of his books for me are 5 stars, and it just, obviously, his books are going to be 5 stars. So I think for this prompt, I'm going to go ahead and choose Magician's Trial by H.L. Burke. Alright, changing up the prompt for 5-star prediction. I'm hoping it lands in some of the new ones that I've added recently that it's never landed on before in my other videos. Alright, and our verdict is ugly cover. So self-explanatory. If this one comes up, I choose a book that I don't think has the prettiest ever cover. Number 5, everybody, here we go. 7. So I forgot that there's no pathway going down that way, and I'm going to try and get over here to the red now. So we're going to have to switch back and around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's a plain brown spot, so we're rolling again. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's a red fiery spot, so we have to choose a card based on a cloud card. The next prompt is to choose a book that is to get a random cloud. So basically, these are the cloud cards, if you're not familiar with them, are cards from the anime card captor Sakura, and they have magical powers, and one day she opens this book in her father's study, and the cards are all released, and she has to go capture them before they wreak havoc on the world. So I have like the replica set here. They can also be used as like tarot cards too. Like they come with this little booklet saying what the meaning of each card is. So I have to choose a card from this deck. And then, based on the meaning behind that card, I have to choose a book. So, we're just going to shuffle it around a little bit. So, I'm just going to choose one kind of here in the middle. And I've got my eyes completely closed, as you can see, so I'm just not cheating. And I think this is the one. 杖の先に羽が生えて、それを飛ぶことができる. So basically, if you use this card, wings appear on the staff, on your magical staff, and you can fly in the sky. I guess I get to read this one this month. This is Dragonsdale by Salamander Drake. Book 1 in the Dragonsdale series, I believe it's called. Forever and a half ago, I found this one at the thrift store for like $1. And I always feel sad when I see ARCs for sale, and I always try and buy them and promise to myself, like, I'm going to take this one home, read it, and review it, so that at least it'll get so that something will come of it, because technically the publisher and the editor and the authors and everyone who worked on it don't get money from the distribution of an ARC. In fact, they lose money. So ARCs should not be for sale. That's a rant for another day. Recently, I decided to treat myself to a couple of new books. And one of those was book 1 of the series, so I could finally get around to reading that one. So, Dragonsdale, book 1. I don't know much about this other than that it's middle grade, and it has dragons. The main character, I guess, secretly trains a dragon, and it looks like it could be a fun, short read. Okay, changing out the prompt for Ravenclaw. I'm gonna go ahead and just give them a shuffle. Can you see them? Okay. Maybe a little bit more down. That one. Random number. This one's fun. So if this comes up, I have to use a random number generator on my phone and then have it pick a book for me. Alright, roll number 6, everybody. And it's an 11. So this time we're gonna go up this way, and then after we get onto this part, we visit all sections of the board, and then I can just keep going around in like a big old circle. So 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And it's a plain brown spot, so we have to roll again. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's a dark green spot, so choosing an ugly cover. So, I've chosen out a couple of them that are ugly covers. So first we have The Seventh Tower by Garth Nix. Despite my love for Garth Nix, usually his books are very nice covers, but this one is just like a giant tower, and it doesn't tell you much about the story, and it's not very attractive to look at. We've also got 13th Child. No, I did not make it this way. It came this battered. I bought it used. This is definitely not a pretty cover. And this one, Arrows of the Queen by Mercedes Lackey, which I'm super excited about. And yeah, I'm not a fan of this cover at all. Why does she look like that? Why is the horse making that expression? What? Okay, so I think for this one I'm going to go ahead and choose Arrows of the Queen by Mercedes Lackey, because this one is the ugliest cover of all 3 of these, and this is the one I'm most excited to read. I don't know much about this book. A couple months ago I happened upon the song The Cost of the Crown here on YouTube, and it was really pretty and I loved it so much, and immediately I looked it up and was like, who is this Mercedes Lackey? Why is she credited as like the songwriter and not the song singer, but this being sung by this other person? I found another song, Battle Dawn, and then I found out that it's like a whole album of songs that are based off of this series, The Heralds of Valdemar, and I looked it up and it looks so good. And basically I think this is about a girl named Talia, and she's a runaway, and then she becomes friends with a horse companion named Roland. Roland, yes. And they go to become heralds for the queen, and it looks really interesting, and it's like court intrigue and fantasy and just the kind of story that I really like to read. So, Arrows of the Queen. So let's go ahead and change up the prompt, and just gonna shuffle them around a little, and then let's choose this one. Random kanji. This is fun. So if you guys don't know, probably you do because I showed you haiku earlier in the video, but I read and write almost fluent Japanese. So if this comes up, I have to go on my phone, and I have a random kanji generator on there. And I have to generate a random kanji and then pick a book based on that kanji's meaning. Okay, rule number 7. Here we go, everybody. And it's a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's a brown spot, so we're going to choose an ebook. The prompt that came up was ebook, and I have an ebook arc that I actually received recently, and I will put the cover here somewhere. It is The Luck Child by Rebecca Schaefer, I believe her name is. This book will be releasing on June the 12th, I believe, a day after my birthday. But I got an e-arc of this book, and I was going to try and zip through it in the end of May, and then that didn't happen. So I will continue to read it in June. I'm not very far into it. I've only read the first chapter to make sure that I liked it. But it's got a snarky talking cat, and it's got a pretty cover. I don't know very much about this, but the main character is trapped between the human and the fairy world, and he's got a cat companion, and then all of a sudden there's someone who can actually see him and remembers him when that's not supposed to happen. Okay, changing out the prompt for ebook. And let's choose one here near the top. Let's choose that one. Most recently acquired. Yay! Alright everybody, roll number 7, here we go. 5. Oops, 5. Let's see. So, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's a plain brown spot, so we have to roll again. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's another plain brown spot, so we have to roll again. I'm trying to tilt the camera a little bit so you can see better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's a light green spot. So that means I have to choose a book that is blurbed by a favorite author. Okay, so the next prompt that came up was blurb. This means I have to choose a book that has on the cover or the back cover or whatever, has an endorsement from another author that I admire. So we have, I don't know if that made sense or not, but we have Crown Duel by Sherwood Smith. This was blurbed by Tamara Pierce, author of The Protector of the Small Quartet. I read the entire quartet a long time ago and loved it. We also have Tangled by Carolyn Mackler. This was blurbed by Daniel Handler, allegedly New York Times bestselling author Lemony Snicket. I really liked the Series of Unfortunate Events series when I read it forever ago. And I was going to just choose Tangled because I thought it would be a nice break from all the fantasy this month. But then I saw this one, which I'm going to choose, 13th Child by Patricia C. Reed. And this one is also blurbed by Tamara Pierce. I know nothing about it other than he was the main character, as the title says. Was born a 13th child and has a twin who's the 7th son of a 7th son. It's like frontier, magic, fantasy stuff. I don't know much about it. Picking up the prompt for roll number 8. So here we go. It's this one. Lowest rated. So if this comes up, I have to choose the book that's... I have all these books on Goodreads, and I have to sort them by average rating and then choose the one that has the lowest rating. Number 8. Oh, it's a 5. It kind of dropped off the edge of the board there. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's a plain brown spot, so we have to roll again. Whoops. That's a 6. So we're going to put that over there so I can see where I'm going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's another plain brown spot. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's another plain brown spot, so we're rolling again. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's a regular brown spot. So that means I choose the most recently acquired book. I recently bought a bunch of new books for myself. Some of them I've already chosen, like Arrows of the Queen, Dragonsdale, Magician's Trial, and To Kill a Kingdom. I have 2 more that I recently bought in a recent batch. So there's Finding Serendipity by Angelica Banks, and The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea by Maggie Tokuda Hall. I think I'm going to go ahead and choose Finding Serendipity, just because this is like a longer, more involved read, but this one just looks like it could be a cute, fun read. And it's my birthday too, and I want to read cute, fun things on my birthday. I don't know much about this book, but it is about a girl who wants to be a writer, I think. She's the daughter of a writer, and then her mother disappears and she has to go save her. It looks a lot like it could be something like Haroun and the Sea of Stories, which I really liked. So I'm really looking forward to it. Normally this would be where I would end the video and say thank you for watching, but oh no, we got 3 plain brown spots earlier during the game, so we have to add 1 more extra roll and choose 1 more book. So I'm going to change out the prompt for the last time. Let's get dragons! Okay, I love dragon books, so if this comes up, I get to choose a dragon book. Here we go. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's a dark green spot, so we have to choose a random kanji. Okay, so it landed on random kanji. So I'm going to go ahead and open up a random kanji generator on my phone. And boom. Fake counterfeit. So Lyriel is technically, there's 2 aspects of the fake counterfeit thing going on here. So the first one is that Lyriel is born into the Claire's Glacier. They're all born with the magical ability to see into the future, essentially. So the girl is in her pre-teen years, so like 9, 10, 11, 12. That's about when the sight starts to appear, when she is accepted into the ranks of the adults and trained to become a seer. And Lyriel is 14 and still does not yet have the sight. And she's miserable, and and then she doesn't have the sight. And she's lamenting that she doesn't have the sight. She doesn't look like her cousins. She never knew her mother or her father. And so one day, the adult Claire see a vision of her in a boat on a lake far away. And so they send her off out of the glacier to make that vision come true. So she goes on this journey with this magical dog that she's created. The fake part is that she meets up with Sam, who is the son of the king, Touchstone, and his wife, Sabriel, who's the Abhorsen. And so the Abhorsen is essentially like the protector of the realm, and she keeps the dead, she puts the dead back to rest. And Sam is expected to follow in her footsteps because he's the Abhorsen in waiting. He's like, because he has a sister, but his sister is so obviously meant for court politics that doesn't have any affinity with the dead. So he has to be the Abhorsen in waiting because it has to be their same bloodline who continues it. And the fake part is that I don't want to spoil it if you haven't read this book yet. We find out later that Sam is not the Abhorsen in waiting. He's like a fake Abhorsen, essentially. So that's where the fake/counterfeit thing comes in. And this book's amazing, and Garth Nix is amazing, and you can tell this book has been like well loved because of how beat up it is. Here's my stack of books I will be reading in June. It is a huge stack of fantasy books and favorite authors and rereads, and I'm so happy because it's my birthday month and I deserve to read some good fantasy that I know I'm going to love on my birthday. Thank you very much for watching. As always, leave a like and a comment down below if you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my updates, and make sure to ring the notification bell so that you don't miss any new videos I upload. I'm Corinne, also known as the Discerning Reader, and I make videos talking about books that you should be reading so you don't have to scour the New York Times bestseller list or Goodreads to find your next book you want to read. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!